Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. How are we all doing? We're back on business today. We've got another two events in the tennis. We're staying in England, going to Eastbourne, and we are also heading on over to sunny Spain in Mallorca. Two on the grass, two 250s. Just going to go through them, break them down as quick as I can, give you some best bets along the way. You know the score by now. Before we do that, subscribe to the channel if you would. I'd appreciate it if you did. Give it a like as well. Wouldn't hurt you, would it? Right then, where do we start? I'll tell you where we'll start. We'll start in Mallorca. I've got two officials in Mallorca. As of yet, no officials from me in Eastbourne, but we'll still go through them anyway, see if there's anything we fancy. Right then, first one for me, first official of the day is going to be with Sebastian Ofner versus Luciano Darderi. Head to head is 1-0 to Darderi. That was earlier on in the year in Cordoba, if you remember that. Look, Darderi only played two games on the grass so far this year. Decent start, one win, one loss. It would be remiss of me not to mention how good he played against Struff in Germany last week. He did get beat by him, managed to take a set off him. I liked what I've seen. When these last played, as I mentioned in Cordoba earlier on in the year, Darderi just wiped the floor with Sebastian Ofner, bageled him in the first, 6-3 in the second set. I watched Sebastian Ofner play Jami Munar today, and he just about got past him. And I mean, barely scraped past him. That's usually a sign, isn't it? Um, Darderi, as we mentioned in a previous video, he'd only played, what, 3 games? Was it 3 games on the grass before this year? Very, very small sample size. Um, Going off what I've seen the past 2 games, he had a good one today against Pedro Martinez as well. Sebastian Hoffman's a favourite here. Hmm. I didn't know that. However, like that's just come to my attention now. Sebastian Hoffman is a favourite here. This dog's barking at me. It really is. The dogs are barking today. At the very least, I'm going to take Darderi to win one set. Seems he's an underdog. And you know what? Fuck it. I might take him just to win the game. Hang fire on the Darderi money line. I am definitely 100% first official from me. Luciano Darderi to win a set against Sebastian Ofner tomorrow, 100%. If you can win one against Struff, you can win one against Ofner. Just saying, just saying. And the second one, and the final official for me in Mallorca, as of yet, is going to be with Berto Batista Agut, Hugo Humbert. You can probably guess where I'm going with this one straight off the bat, but let's not rush into it. Head to head is 1-0 to Batista Agut. That was back in 2021. Hugo Humbert's a completely different player now, really. He's so good. Both of these, on the grass anyway, both of these are phenomenal grass players. Batista Agut, really good on the grass. That being said, both offer completely different styles in this matchup. Hugo Humbert, not going to go on about him too much. We all know how I feel about Hugo Humbert, one of my favourite players. Been unreal this year. Clay season was a bit. The past couple of matches, he has not been himself. We've seen flashes. Like, who did he get beat by last time? Matteo Arnaldi. He got beat by Arnaldi. He won a set. There's been a couple of other times he's lost when maybe he shouldn't, but regardless, I'll always put my money on Hugo Humbert. Always. He's been so good to me in the past. I'm not too sure what. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what the odds are, but I do know this. The spread's 1.5. That's all I had when I looked. Batista Agut today. Who did he beat today? Taro Daniel. Oh, I don't know whether you watched it, but it was so embarrassing. He beat him 6-1 and then bageled him in the second set. Taro Daniel won one game. One game in 2 sets. How are you even playing at this level? It's beyond me. Do we think he's going to be able to angle Hugo Humbert tomorrow? Because I tell you what, I don't. I don't. As I've just mentioned, contrasting styles here, I think Hugo Humbert's going to be too aggressive and too much for him. I hope anyway. I really do. Bear in mind, this is a home event for Batista Agut, with it being over in Spain. That does stand for something. Is it enough for me to back him? Not a chance. I'm taking Hugo Humbert -1.5. Done. Simple. Lock it in. Don't even think about it. -1.5 against Batista Agut on the grass. Fucking give me that. Give me that all day. Right then, we'll just knock the rest of them out dead quick. I've not many decent looks left, to be honest with you, but we'll see what we've got. Um, I'll say that actually. So Yannick Hanfman's playing Adam Walton. All I'll say about this, Yannick Hanfman has just fisted this lad in qualifying for Hull last week. 6-2, 6-3 on the grass. Rinse and repeat. Yannick Hanfman once again. Paul Jupp, Max Martyr. Max Martyr. Do not bet on this fella. Do not bet on this kid. I've learnt my lesson with Max Martyr. Um, Max Martyr, 87th in the world. Paul Jupp, 289 in the world, barely in the top 300. As a matter of fact, we only ever really see him around this time of the year, don't we? Paul Jupp's a favourite. 289 in the world, 87 in the world. Paul Jupp's the favourite. That just goes to show you how fucking turd, absolute turd, Max Martyr can be. I'm not confident backing Paul Jupp, but if I had to bet this game, I could only look at him. And he's British as well, playing in Britain. If he can't back, no, it's not. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. This one's in Mallorca. Doesn't matter. He's still on the grass. I think Paul Jupp gets it done against Martyr. Moving on is this guy again. And Christopher Eubanks. Jakob Mensah. I don't know. I'm not putting any of my money on Eubanks. And at the same time, I don't want to put it on Mensah at the moment either. We haven't seen much of him. We haven't seen much, have we, recently? And what we have seen of him, I've not been impressed. I've not been impressed with his performance. Um, Look, we all know these Eubanks games usually go over. If you've got a better, I'd lean towards the over, but I'm not picking that with much conviction. So be careful with that one. Adrian Manarino, Jimmy Hopkins, Alex Michelson. Fucking getting a migraine just looking at that. Don't know. Don't care who wins that one. I really don't. I'd love Manarino to beat him, but you won't be getting a dime of my money, I tell you that. Offner Darderi, we just went through it. Batista Agut, Humbert, we went through it. Carbias, Baena, Gael Monfils. What the fuck is this? What is this? This really is the low hanging fruit of the day, innit? Do not go anywhere near Carbias, Baena. We're not on the clay anymore. Do not touch this lad. I wouldn't even encourage you to bet Monfils either, because especially after the clay season he's just had, it was fucking poor, wasn't it? Got past Dominic TM today, or Dominic Team, whatever you want to call him. Beat him in straight sets today, but I'll be honest with you, I expected nothing less. Dominic Team. Now getting a win against him is it's a layup, innit? Everyone wins against him. He's got 1 foot out the door. Carbias Baena. I watched his game against Pablo Carreño Busta. He barely won that. He was just breaks back and forth. It was so scruffy and scrappy. And how long's Carreño Busta been on for? He hasn't played tennis properly for fucking God knows how long now. I used to love watching him. Just haven't seen him. And he come back and seen him play against Carbias Baena. He nearly beat him. Take Monfils if you've got to. At least he won in straight sets. At least he looked like he could somewhat fucking control the ball on the grass. That's it for Mallorca. Done and dusted. So Just the two officials. I'll repeat it again. Darderi for a set. Hugo Humbert, -1.5. Hugo Humbert money line, whatever you want to take. And then moving on over to England, Eastbourne. Nice and quick. This dog's barking at me. It really is jumping off the page. James McCabe, Thiago Sabo-Field. Sabo-Field's a decent favourites in this, and I get it. Much higher ranked. McCabe's had a really good qualifying, beat Mackenzie McDonald in two, which I don't imagine anyone thought was going to happen. Who else did he beat as well? Broome, which I'm more impressed with the McDonald match. Thiago Sabo-Field, I haven't seen him play. As a matter of fact, I don't think he has played since his first round loss. He got beaten in the first round in the Roland Garros. Coming into Eastbourne, ice cold. Ice cold, in my opinion. This dog is barking. I would not mind having a little look at James McCabe tomorrow. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, as a matter of fact, no, I'm not making it official. I may sprinkle on it. Go and have a look on Twitter tomorrow, see what I'm doing. But yeah, I'd be looking at James McCabe to beat Sabo-Field there all day. Cam Norrie, Emil Ruusuvuori. Oh, pair of letdowns. Letdowns, the two of them. Ruusuvuori, I said, when was it? Was it the Roland Garros? I think it was the Roland Garros where I said I'm never touching him again for a good while after that game. Can't even remember who it was against. Was it Marcus Giron? I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But he played the game recently, and I'm sure it was the French Open, and it was so lackluster. So fucking lackluster. Cam Norrie hasn't been much better, but at least he's been winning some games. Ruusuvuori's on a 3-loss skid. Can't see him breaking it on the grass against Norrie in his home tournament. If you can't bet on these Brits at home in fucking London, you just, when can you take them? First round, Cam Norrie should see you right on that one. Game number 3, Kekmanovic and Zhang. This is good. I quite like this one. Sure, Zhang's an underdog as well. Head to head is 2-0 to Kekmanovic. He actually beat Zhang earlier this year in the Madrid Open. Zhang reached the semi-finals in Germany, didn't he, last week? Played some cracking tennis. Reached a new career high of 33 in the world recently. And you know what? I think Zhang does this. I think at the very least, he makes Kekmanovic struggle. I see Kekmanovic really struggling against Zhang tomorrow. I do. Zhang's coming in hot. Take Zhang on the money line. Can't go wrong with that. I might fire on it myself. I really might. See how I feel when I wake up. I might talk myself into it overnight. Liam Brody versus, is that Nishioka? Is it? Yeah, Yoshito Nishioka. Look, Liam Brody. I know I've just said you can back the Brits at home, but especially on the grass, but can't back Liam Brody. This lad hasn't played since March. Hasn't played since March, but some of you might be listening to that going, it's only June. Do you know how many fucking tournaments get played in tennis? Like, that's March, April, maybe nearly at the end of June. 3 months out in tennis, especially for someone like him, that's such a long time. Especially coming back against Nishioka, who's actually winning games. So I'll probably take Nishioka to win that one. Yeah. I might talk myself into that too. Sorry, Liam. Arthur Rinderknech, Cobley. Oh, this is one of them trap spots, I think. Head to head is 1-0 to Rinderknech. Cobley is yet to win a game on the grass so far in his career. He's went 0-4. Very small sample size with him as well. What I will say, Rinderknech made it to the quarterfinals here last year. No, not here, in Mallorca last year, another grass tournament. We know he can play on the grass. Stronger player. He'll have the age and the experience advantage. It'd be Rinderknech or nothing for me. Let me know what you're doing. Mariano Navone versus Nishik. Hold on, my writing. So this is Nishikori. Yeah. I thought I got them mixed up. Mariano Navone versus Nishikori. Nothing for this. I'd love to take Navone. As a matter of fact, I got into a bit of a habit of just betting Navone all the time on the clay, and more often than not, it was very profitable. I don't think he's going to beat Nishikori though. I don't. This guy can't play on the grass. And Say you can't play on the grass, even towards the end of clay season, we started to take a bit of a dip. I noticed that. Um, Nishikori or not, although I would love Navone to win this. Love him to win it. Not maybe not the whole tournament. Or maybe yeah, that'd be fucking great if he won the whole tournament. But I'd definitely love him to win this game. Just not so sure he will. Last one is probably the only game with a bit of meat on the bone in Eastbourne. Alejandro Davidovich Fekina, Lorenzo Sonego, head to heads 1-0 to Sonego. I'm sure Sonego has been in the final here before. As a matter of fact, he definitely has. So this will be most definitely familiar for him. Davidovich Fekina, not much to say about this fella. He's on what? He's won one game out of his last five. Coming into Eastbourne, ice cold. It'd have to be Sonego or not. It'd have to be Sonego or not. And I don't say that with much conviction, but it's the only way I could look. Let me know what you're going for. Who do you fancy? Have you got any certs, anything that I haven't mentioned that you think's just going to hit? Let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it if you got involved. Sound done and dusted. Happy days. Eastbourne, Mallorca in the bag. Right then, let's go get that cash, people. Good luck to you. Best of luck to you. Subscribe to the channel. Do me the favour. Do yourself the favour, actually. Subscribe. Give it a like as well. I'd appreciate that. Take it easy. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Enjoy the tennis. See you tomorrow.